Hello and welcome to Thriftmas, where I'm going to 24 different thrift stores, no repeats, and I have to pull the maximum amount of value out of each thrift store. The thrift store today is going to be the Restore, the Habitat Humanity Restore in Williamsburg, Virginia, and I've found lots of stuff at this store before. Sometimes it's a feast, sometimes it's a famine. Let's see what we get today. Okay, so at any point in time at this Restore, there are at least 3 pianos up for sale. Here is an adjustable bass. I love my adjustable bass at home, but mine's a queen size. We got some beds. They also get furniture overstock. They want, I think this is a paddleboard, $800 for this paddleboard. I don't know if that's a good price or not. So many old flat screen TVs and some Shrek. This Restore also had a gun case, but I think this is like that quilt conversion y'all were talking about in the comments of the last video. How to ruin an Art Deco piece with chalk paint in 3 colors. So sad. They also had, I thought, only 3, I say only, air hockey tables, but there's actually a 4th one. You just had to walk a little bit further. I thought this was cute. I don't know what it is though. I thought it was like a medicine cabinet, but there's like some velvet cushioning up top. This is a interesting little shelf. I absolutely thought this beaded piece was beautiful. This Restore actually has a local jewelry company appraise every single piece of jewelry, I think like once a week. So there's no deals there. I always thought it would be neat to open a restaurant and instead of regular dishware, use the commemorative plates that you see in every thrift store. These Wedgwood plates actually do have some resale value, so if you're able to like pick them up for like $2 or less, they might be worth it, but the resale value is the $15 to $12 that they're actually asking at this Restore. Here's me showing you another Wedgwood piece. They're beautiful. But yeah, they're collector prices. All these mugs, it's an entire wall of mugs, not a single one for resale. So sad. I mean, I looked in the trivets. They have the trivets and the coasters in the same place. I picked this up for $2. I found Francoma for the first time. I was kind of excited about that. And looking down there at the ashtrays, take me a moment to actually squat down, and I found an ashtray for resale. I love buying and selling ashtrays. Those little divots are actually manufacturing defects. They're like bubbles in the glass that came up to the surface and popped. It's not chips or cracks. I thought about getting this for thrifted treats, but I don't have time to do thrifted treats right now, and I wouldn't be able to resell that because it had no resale value. I love looking at the artwork here. I thought about those 2 pieces, but the frames are too damaged. But I did pick up these little bunnies because they're so cute. But I found actually a lot of good artwork here for resale. And this is what they view as the fancy stuff. They want almost, I think, $300 for those chess pieces, and it's not even a complete set. I hope they get that for their mission. But this is the lock case with a lot of very expensive stuff in it. Or expensive for if you're not a collector. Tons of china. They actually sell a lot of their china by sets. This is a mid-century set by Homer Laughlin. It's not the restaurant ware, it's just regular stuff. Here is, this would have actually been free. I think this is like the dishware you could get from grocery stores if you spent a certain amount of money, and they're wanting $1 to $3 a piece for them. Here is some Libby Gold Leaf that they have marked as Libby Gold Leaf, so those are priced not for resale. For me, I mean, again, they're collector's prices, so that's about what you get for them on eBay. These glasses, I like the way they look at them, but they're too heavy. I would have gotten them for myself. Here is a Georges Briard piece. I pick up everything Georges Briard I find. They wanted $5 for this. I will definitely pick this up. It does have a sticker on it. I hope I can get that off. And I always check the books here. I have gotten so many amazing books at this bookstore because for some odd reason the Amazon resellers don't really come here but like once a month, and they definitely overlook all the vintage books. And here is my little basket. This is very full. I should have gotten a cart. It was also very heavy. I have found quite a few vintage coolers here that have made me quite a bit of money as well. Well, no $60 Starbucks mugs today, but I still found a few things to resell. So let's get back to the house and do the haul. Okay, I am back and I'm going to show you everything that I picked up at the Restore in Williamsburg. But before I do that, I did want to say thank you so much for everyone that left a comment on yesterday's video. That video was like almost 54 minutes long and it took a long time, one, to film, list, and edit it. So the fact that I saw so many cat comments for Miss Moxie, who has decided to join us, because of course she did. She heard her name and has decided she needs to say hello to all of her many fans. I was so surprised to see so many cat emojis in yesterday's comments of those of you that actually made it to the end of the video. It means a lot because, again, I have been like up until 3 o'clock in the morning pretty much every day for Thriftmas trying to get everything done and these videos out in time, which is also why this is going out late because I would like to sleep. So they're gonna be, these videos are gonna be published at 9 p.m. for the next few days so I can hopefully catch back up on sleep. But let me go ahead and show you what I picked up. We're gonna start with some artwork first. I have actually found quite a bit of quality artwork at this thrift store. It is in Williamsburg, and Williamsburg is a large retirement community and also a large golfing community. There is many homes in Williamsburg that are between $500,000 and like $10 million. So, money. I found two of these absolutely adorable, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this without getting the reflection, but you could, my eBay store is linked, you can look at it up close if you want to, but it's two super cute little bunny prints. This one is meant to be hung this way, and this one is a set of 3. This one's like 6 inches in some, and this one is 7. I'm selling them together. It'd be absolutely adorable for a nursery, or if you like the rustic aesthetic, or if you are cottagecore, perfect for that. It's just, or if you just really like rabbits. There are plenty of people. I think rabbits are the most popular pet in the UK. But anyway, this is done. These are done by K-Lam Shannon, and they're signed. They're already framed and matted beautifully, so I've just left them as is. The frames are actually immaculate, to be honest. So I put those up, not expecting a whole lot because they're a bunch listed, but I thought these were too cute to leave behind, and they were only like $6, so 3 for each. Totally worth it for me. So cute. Another set of artwork that was also $6 in total, so 3 each. Don't know why they do that. Is this pair of pheasants. You're gonna see some, woo! But these are oval. Why am I telling you guys shapes? Y'all are adults. Most of you are adults. At least according to my analytics, everyone's an adult. Never mind. Beautiful ovals. These are mid-century. They have this hammered brass plate, and they're hand-painted pheasants. So again, I put cottagecore in the title, MCM. Well, I put cottagecore in the listing, I think. I don't know. I put mid-century pheasants. Great for like if the hunter in your life, if anybody out there likes hunting, bird hunting, or if you just like bird watching. I would prefer bird watching personally, but pheasant artwork, I got a pair, so I listed these as well. Again, there are a bunch listed in varying states of condition, so I didn't ask for a whole lot, but again, I thought these were too cute to leave behind or to get ruined, because a lot of the artwork in there does get ruined because of how they stack it. You saw there where it's just kind of like all on top of each other. So, pick those up. I picked up a big old stack of books. Here we are, but I'm actually only listing 2 of them. And then, of course, as I've mentioned before, if I'm keeping anything, even books, I am going to list something of my own to replace it. So I'm going to give you to Other Bob, and she's going to show you what I am replacing the books with, and then I'll show you the books. Okay, so this is what I have pulled to replace the books that I'm keeping. Again, not quite equivalent exchange because I honestly don't have any books that I want to sell. This is both of these actually are tea mugs. that have strainers in them. You know, again, RIP Tabana. My mom gave me this a long time ago, but I actually have other tea strainers that I like better. Sorry, mommy. It's very beautiful and the tea was really good that this came with, but I don't use this because it's not as convenient as the other one. Same thing with this. Again, beautiful, work functioning. These are both for like loose leaf tea. So many of these green Anchor Hawking tartan glasses. Brett gave me a set. I've also found multiple sets, and I'm just gonna sell off 4 of them because I have a ton of them. These are like my everyday glasses. And then I also have more Anchor Hawking. Both of these are Friggies or refrigerator dishes. These are the reprints. So they're not the original ones, but these are the reprints of the Friggies that they did recently. And I have the big one and the little one. So these are all gonna go up for sale because I don't use these. I realize I don't use them. So I thought I was gonna keep them, but they can move on to a new home with someone who's actually going to use them. So these are gonna go up for sale. Hopefully I have flashed the listings on the screen somewhere. So I'm gonna give you back to Bob now. Thanks, other Bob. So the 2 books that I'm going to sell are this hardback cover of The Red Badge of Courage. This is something that pretty much every child in the South has to read, even though it's from the perspective of a Union soldier, which is awesome. I really actually liked this book when I was young and I read it. I do have a hard copy, but it's like the late 80s cover with like a person on it. But whenever I find this book, I do pick it up, especially if it's a vintage one, you know, from the before they put barcodes on it. Plus I like these Durabind books. They last a really long time because this is from the 60s and it's in amazing shape. So a lot of these were library books because they were meant to last. Hi, Editing Bob here. I haven't seen you guys in a while. I realized while I was editing that I was actually confusing this book with this book. They are not the same book. So I am actually keeping this book because I do not have a hardcover copy, and as I mentioned, I actually really like the Duraband vintage copies, so I'm keeping that, and I'm gonna list this in its place because I realized that I don't wear these and I kind of already set them aside just in case I make another oopsie or wanted to keep something, so these are getting listed instead. Back to Bob. The other one is a first edition copy of Roots, which is amazing. I have never found this book. I'm very tempted to keep it. If it doesn't sell quickly, I probably will hopefully get an opportunity to read it. But it's by Alex Haley, and this is a first edition book. It is from 1976, and you can tell it's a first edition and not a book club edition because it has the price up here. So if it is a true first edition, it will have the price somewhere on the dust jacket if the dust jacket is still present. And then if it's not a true first edition, it'll have book club somewhere on here. Now, if it doesn't have its dust jacket with it, the way that you can tell if it's a book club edition or a true first edition is inside. It'll normally have book club somewhere in the title page or somewhere in here if it's just a book club edition. Not all true first editions have first edition on it somewhere, but there is resources for you to figure out if it is or not if you Google. Google's your friend. Google and reselling in general is your friend. So I picked this up. This is up for sale. It does have a lot of condition issues, like the dust jacket is not in great shape. It has very minor foxing, but I did disclose it. It has like the beginning of foxing here on the top, and it's not going to show you. Are you going to focus? Can you focus for me? Anyway, these little bright, they're light brown spots. They're on the top. It's normally where dust has become sticky and has discolor the pages. That's what my understanding of foxing is, but there is this. And then I have a bunch of books for myself to hopefully read on my book channel. If you do not know, I do have a second channel, which is sadly being very ignored right now because I am doing daily uploads on this channel. But if you are interested in book hauls or books in general, or you like reading, go do that. Go subscribe to that channel. I am inching closer to 1,000. But these are the books I picked up. I actually personally have a goal of picking up every single one of Chuck Palahniuk's books. Can you tell I need sleep? Preferably in hardback, but they're very hard to find, mostly because people that like this author have a tendency to hold on to their books. This is the third time I have owned this book. I do want to reread it again, and why I say it's the third time I have owned this book, it's because I lend them out to people and they don't give them back. So the only two people I will lend books out anymore to is my mommy and then my friend Donna, who you guys have seen on the channel before. So Survivor by Chuck Palahniuk, the same author who wrote Fight Club. If you don't know what Fight Club is, that's impressive, honestly. It has Edward Norton and Brad Pitt in it. It's the movie. It's a very popular movie. Was it the 90s or the early 2000s? I don't know. I love the movie and then have just devoured everything I can get my hands on by that author. I also found 100 Years of Solitude in hardback. Now it does have some leaning on it, which means it was probably had a bunch of books stacked on top of it that were really heavy. Again, it's from my own personal library, so I'm not really worried about it. But it's a nice like collector's hardcover edition. It has a little, I don't think this was ever read or opened, to be honest, because it has the little ribbon bookmark in the exact same place it would have been before. But yeah, I could sell this, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna keep this. Very excited about that. It's one of those like American classics that I've been meaning to get around to. I also found 2 James Dashner books. So you saw that the Anchor Hawking Phrygies are being sold together. If I were to sell these books, they would be sold together because they're written by the same author, and I've made that video before about how to sell books, that selling books in a lot normally does better if individually they aren't really worth that much. But this is the same author that wrote The Maze Runner, which I think was made into a show or movie as well. This is the prequel to that series, which is listed on the back, so maybe I'll come across those books. And then this is a separate book series by the same author. So picked up these 2. I do love YA, so I might get to these one day, but again, I found hardcovers that I was interested in. And on my book channel, I do stick to mostly sci-fi and fantasy, and then hoping to get into more YA when I can read again, but I don't really have time for that. And then this is a first edition copy of Ken Follett's Pillars of Earth. I only know about this book, or Ken Follett in general, because I played the Pillars of Earth, the point and click game, because it was free with your Twitch Prime membership. So I played that on stream because I am a Twitch partner, and I got super attached to those characters playing that game. I did the entire playthrough. I absolutely loved it. I loved the story. I loved the characters. So that made me really interested in reading this book, but I wanted to find it in hardcover, and I did. And then bonus points that I actually found a first edition copy from the 80s. So this was, I got so excited when I saw this on the shelf. So I am definitely keeping this. It does have some, you know, condition issues for the dust jacket. No worries there. So I'm very happy to have a couple of books for my own personal collection, and then to move some stuff that I'm not necessarily utilizing in my own home. Almost done. I also found this cheese board. Unfortunately, it did have a sticker on it. I'm not sure if you guys saw that in the video. It has a sticker here, and I was able to remove the sticker, but the sticker unfortunately had been on there so long it actually peeled up some of the gilding. That's fine. But this is a beautiful mid-century. This is probably from like the late 50s, early 60s. This is Georges Briard. I pick up legitimately anything I find from Georges Briard because mid-century collectors love these pieces. Even like the more kitschy pieces that he put out in the 70s, because the 70s are really popular right now. A lot of those sell really well as well. I saw someone listing this on First Dibs, this exact same cheese board, for $275. I really hope they get that because that would be amazing for them. But I'm not going to put this up for that much because it doesn't really sell like that on eBay. If you want something from Georges Briard that sells in the hundreds of dollars, if you find any Name Your Poison glasses from Georges Briard, run, not walk, run to those glasses and pick them up because they are worth hundreds. Especially the more you get, the more valuable they are. It's amazing. But that's on my bucket list. That's one of my unicorn finds. I'll probably cry, mostly because I found something so valuable, and then also because I probably wouldn't be able to bring myself to sell it. But I found this. You know, charcuterie boards are super popular right now. MCM is still super popular. So even with the slight damage here, hopefully someone will want this. This is a really nice big size. This is perfect for like a party or a holiday gathering. It's like 13.5 inches. And then it's got the little mid-century feet, which is great. So there's that. So when I went to the Restore in Newport News, you guys saw that I picked up a bunch of the Tamak pottery, which is gorgeous mid-century pottery actually made in Oklahoma. And then I found the other big Oklahoma company as well in this one. This is Frankoma, which makes it easy to remember. Frankoma is made in Oklahoma. It also helps that it says like OK3 down here as well. Not necessarily excited about what this trivet says, but I'm going to sell it because they do sell. This is the seals from from 5 large indigenous nations that had lived in Oklahoma, either because they were forcibly relocated or because they actually natively were there. So I picked this up mostly because it was inexpensive and I haven't actually ever found a piece of Frankoma pottery, so I was just kind of like, I've checked that off my restaurantware list. The next item is something that a lot of people overlook, mostly because, you know, Big Tobacco has definitely gone downhill in popularity. But even though Big Tobacco is making a decline, Mary Jane is making an incline with its decriminalization and legalization. So ashtrays are still able to be bought and sold. Plus there are plenty of people that actually just collect them. And this is Kiahuna. I probably butchered that. I'm so sorry for anyone native to Hawaii. But this, I believe, is a Hawaii golf course. And I was shocked by what these were going for. I figured, you know, 10 bucks, be great. Absolutely great. Small, quick, easy to ship. They're selling for more than that. So I was like, I picked this up for sure, especially since it was 50 cents. So, I mean, I've bought and sold so many ashtrays over the last 3 years, again, because they're normally overlooked, they're normally underpriced, and they move pretty quickly for me, of all shapes and sizes and varieties. So excited to pick this up and hopefully find it a new home. But that is everything for this thrift trip. Again, a little bit less, kind of contrast from yesterday's video, but I promise there's another thick boy coming. The next video is going to be a what sold video. I'm trying to like break this up, so if you haven't noticed, I'm doing 4 of the Thriftmas videos, then a what sold, and then it'll be 4 more Thriftmas videos, and then a what sold, and then somewhere in there I will work in my reseller recap. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, so grateful that y'all are enjoying this. It is a lot of work, but all the comments that you guys are leaving enjoying the series is keeping me going. So thank you for those. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, bye!